What's up, guys? My name is Aaron, and today I'm going to be reviewing Ingrid Goes West. This movie is written and directed by Matt Spicer, and it stars Aubrey Plaza, Elizabeth Olsen, and O'Shea Jackson Jr. It's basically about this girl who becomes obsessed with this Instagram star, and she moves out to Los Angeles to kind of meet her, and she just gets wrapped into their life, trying to be her friend, and just really weird behavior. You do see the layers why she does it, but it's just a really kind of uneasy comedy, I guess. I was looking forward to this because I think the premise of it is really interesting. This kind of modern look of like a Kings of Comedy type of movie, and I think that Aubrey Plaza is an actress who is a really good presence in movies, but I don't think she's kind of done anything that kind of really stretched her acting ability all that well. I love her, but she really has done the same type of movies in the past year. So I think her doing this was kind of a nice, refreshing change. I do think the cast is really good. Elizabeth Olsen is one of the best actresses in Hollywood right now. If you see Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene, that movie is really good. She's really good in that. Don't just base her based off of like the Avengers or whatever. This had a lot of stuff going for it. I do think this is a really good comedy. This is one of my favorites comedies of the year. Possibly my favorite, and it's hovering in my top 10 favorite movies of the year so far. This is a pretty great movie. I think the comedy aspect of it is where it really kind of shines for me. It's really uncomfortable, like especially towards the beginning where Ingrid, who's Aubrey Plaza's character, is trying to ingratiate herself into Taylor's life. It's played by Elizabeth Olsen. It felt very similar to like the Kings of Comedy with the themes, the humor, and just like how uneasy everything felt. I think Aubrey Plaza is so naturally good at kind of playing this deadpan type of character. Her reactions are really good, and she kind of has this like dead-eyed mentality about the way that she kind of plays his character. I think she's really good in this role. Like, she really sells like the humor and the humanity and the drama behind this role. I think Elizabeth Olsen really does capture kind of like the vapidness and kind of the fake deep mentality of those type of white girls really well. She really kind of embodied that with her performance, with like her costumes and like the outfits and like just how she kind of portrayed the character. I think she did a really good job too. Magnussen, who played Taylor's brother, I thought that he did a pretty good job too. He was kind of on this like frat boy like character who was just really like loud and abrasive. He kind of felt like Glenn Powell, who played Chad Radwell on Scream Queens, kind of felt like a mini version of that. He was really good in this role. I love the scene where he was dancing to a Shura song because I don't think I've ever heard a Shura song in a movie before, but I do think O'Shea Jackson Jr. kind of stole the movie. He was this Batman obsessed dude that was just so innocent, but he was also infatuated with Ingrid's character. I think his constant admiration for the character, especially this certain iteration of the character, was really funny, and I think that his character was always consistent for a good laugh, and I think he was kind of good as kind of like the moral censor of the movie and just like the comedic relief of the movie too. I think he's really good in this movie, and I can't wait to see him in different things. I think the comedy was definitely the strongest aspect of the movie, thanks a lot to the strong, accurate writing, to like the millennial lifestyle, because I do know a lot of people like this, and I think the cast is really strong too. The themes of the movie I think are really well done too. I think that this like delusional relationship that people build in their heads about celebrities and like people that they don't even know, like famous people, is really well done. It felt really like real authentic how this kind of loneliness that a person might have kind of draws them to this person that's kind of living this nice life or whatever like that they can't really achieve. And I think that it really captures that really perfectly, how obsessive it can be with another person. I think the movie really captures the artificiality and the vapidness that millennials kind of display throughout their lives. There's a character that kind of gets a picture of the scenery or whatever like that, and then he just slaps on Squad Girls over it, and he's like, it's art basically. And I feel like something like that felt real because I do know people like that kind of do those type of things. I think the way the movie kind of captures the blandness and the airhead-like nature of the constant posting to social media and the caption is just so real. The movie uses Instagram with the characters kind of reading the captions with a really vapid tone a lot, and it really does capture like how they interact. It was a really cool way to kind of show how like people use social media right now. I don't know how the movie's really going to age in time, but I do think this is a really nice encapsulation of this time right now, and the themes that the movie really portrays, kind of being like a more modern The Kings of Comedy type of movie, was really well done. And I do think Aubrey Plaza is fantastic in this role. I think this is probably her best movie role to date. She really captures this like persistent, like sociopathic nature of this character really well to me. She's really unhinged with the way that she acts, and there's really no like like concern for other people. It really felt really uneasy the way that she was acting, especially throughout the beginning of the movie. She really doesn't care at all about anything that's happening outside of Taylor's character, just latching onto this like idealized figment of a person that really doesn't exist. And she really fully realizes Ingrid, like she makes her feel like a real person, even though you really wouldn't want to be around this person. And even though like she's doing morally indefensible things, like you do kind of sympathize with her. You could tell that she's mentally ill, and the way that she's acting is just like a condition of her illness. And I think that Aubrey Plaza has like vulnerability that she really plays in her movies, and it really works with the movie because like whenever she has like a more dramatic scene or like that, you could see like the vulnerability throughout like the exterior of her character, the way that she kind of has that bubbling underneath. Like you kind of see like the sadness and loneliness to me. I'm not just saying this because I love her, because I do, but I do think that she's like genuinely great throughout this movie. Some negatives I had with the movie: I think the movie could have went a little bit darker and a little bit more deeper with her character. There was a live Q&A night after the movie with the director, and he was basically talking about like he wanted to kind of not go too hard on her and kind of focus on more of like the positive vibes of her character. I do get why he wanted to do that, but I think the movie would have been a lot more interesting if it kind of maintained that darker mode that the movie was going throughout the beginning of the movie. I don't know, I think it's really interesting seeing like these type of characters interact throughout the movie. Like I guess the Kings of Comedy, another instance of this type of movie is Nightcrawler, like the way that those characters like Jake Gyllenhaal, Robert De Niro kind of operate throughout those movies without much care for anything or anybody throughout the movie. I think that would have been a lot more interesting as the trajectory of the movie went on. I think the tonal shift throughout the movie might be jarring to some people. I do think it worked because it was kind of building towards that more serious and kind of crazy ending, but I do think that it could kind of throw off a lot of people that are watching this movie. But I do think the actual ending of the movie was kind of meh, like it felt too neatly wrapped up to me. Overall, I do think this is a really great dark comedy. I wouldn't put this on the level of Spring Breakers, which I think is like a masterpiece and kind of showcasing like this generation of people, but I do think it's a really smartly written satire of how millennials act, the obsession that millennials have about people and stuff like that, and the kind of the attachment and the entitlement they have is really well done. The cast is really good, and I do think this is a really good showcase for Aubrey Plaza's talent. So overall, I'm gonna give this like an 8 out of 10. Really good movie. I definitely recommend checking this out when you guys get the chance to see it. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Ingrid Goes West. What are you guys' thoughts? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments what you thought, and thanks for watching. Thanks guys. Bye.